Walking around day to day, you never know what you're going to encounter. There are many ways you can be prepared for emergencies, and becoming certified in CPR is a good way to ensure that you will know what to do if someone needs your help. Today I'm going to demonstrate CPR. CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. This means that when you perform CPR, you are literally breathing and circulating blood for a person who is not breathing and has no pulse. When performed correctly, CPR can continue to provide life-sustaining oxygen to the brain and heart when a victim suffers sudden cardiac arrest. People who suffer from cardiac arrest cannot pump blood and oxygen to their body, and without oxygen, vital tissue dies. CPR keeps blood and oxygen flowing when the body cannot. The idea of CPR first came about in 1740 when the Paris Academy of Sciences recommended mouth-to-mouth for those who have drowned. Fast forward to today, and CPR is being taught and used everywhere. Emergency personnel, doctors, nurses, and EMTs are all required to be certified in CPR. If you call 911, you can receive instructions over the phone on how to perform CPR even if you've never performed it before. CPR is done on a person who has no pulse and is not breathing. CPR is performed differently for all ages. There is infant, child, and adult CPR. The difference between the three is the number of compressions, breaths, the position of the victim, and how deep the chest compressions are. You would not do CPR on an infant in the same manner as you would do it in an adult. I'm going to demonstrate on this dummy that I have made myself normal adult CPR. My victim has collapsed in front of me. I'm going to check for consciousness by rousing them. Sir, are you okay? I'm getting no response, so I'm going to look, listen, and feel for breath. You want to look at their chest. There is no rise and fall. You want to feel on your cheek and listen with your ear to their mouth. I'm going to give one breath by covering the victim's mouth with my mouth and blowing in. The breath went in. I'm going to give another breath. Now I'm going to check for a pulse on this patient. I'm going to put my fingers on the carotid pulse, which is located here on a patient. You should feel bounding underneath your two fingers. If you do not, the patient does not have a pulse and you need to perform CPR. I am not detecting a pulse, so I'm going to trace the patient's rib line with my fingers. I'm going to put the heel of my hand next to the fingers, and I'm going to wrap my fingers around my other fingers and put the heel of my hand into the middle of the chest. Make sure that your elbows are not bent, and make sure the patient is on a hard, flat surface. If they're on a bed or somewhere else that is not hard, you need to move them so that your compressions will be effective. You're going to do 30 compressions, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You're going to look, listen, and feel for breath. There is none. You're going to give 2 breaths. You're going to trace, find your positioning again, and continue compressions, 30 compressions. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 and 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 4, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You're going to look, listen, and feel for breath. No breath. 2 breaths, and you're going to do another round of compressions. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. At the end of this, you're going to check for a pulse. Patient does not have pulse, you will continue CPR. Somebody has gone to call 911. Paramedics are on their way. It's very easy to obtain a CPR certification. The local Red Cross holds regular classes. Fire stations and other community centers might also offer classes. So just check the local paper. Sometimes it's advertised on TV. The class lasts a few hours and is followed by a practical and written test. If successfully completed, you will receive a card that states you're certified, and recertification is required every 2 years. The leading authority on CPR and the one who sets the most recognized guidelines is the American Heart Association. This organization does studies and research so that the most effective CPR guidelines will be the most up to date. Anybody can become certified in CPR. All it takes is a class and a few hours. That's all you have to do to make a difference. I hope I have stressed the importance of knowing CPR. Not just doctors, nurses, paramedics, or other formally trained medical personnel need to know this important skill. Being prepared just might be the difference between life and death for a family member or a total stranger. If you know CPR, then you may just have the power to save a life. Thank you, Gracie, because now